Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Wednesday's morning message. This morning, why don't we start by greeting each other using another language? Some of the ways that we've greeted each other in the past have been in Spanish. You can say buenos dias. In French, you can say bonjour. In both Arabic and Bengali, you can say salam alaikum. And in American Sign Language, you can say. So right now, I want you to stop and say good morning to everybody using another language. Great. Today, I want to just let you know that all of you who have been getting onto Google Classroom have been doing a fantastic job. I know there are a lot of confusions and a lot of problems, and we're all learning something that's brand new, including me. And it takes a while. So everybody who's gotten on and tried to do at least some of the work has been doing a fantastic job. I don't want you to get upset about it. I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to do the best you can. I also don't want you to be working till very late at night. If you're online and you're working for about 3 hours, that's great. Don't keep working. You can always give me the rest of the work the next day. I don't want anybody to worry about this. We'll get better and better at it as we keep going. So work for about 3 hours every day, and you should definitely take snack breaks and lunch breaks and all of that in between. You don't have to go for 3 hours straight. As long as you're working for about 3 hours and you're doing the best you can, I think you're doing fantastically. Now, one thing a lot of you are still not doing, so I'm going to ask you to work on it today, is you're not signing in on our homepage correctly. So when you go to Google Classroom, the very first thing that should pop up is a morning message from me. It's in writing, but there's also a video. So I want you to watch the video. I want you to read the morning message, and there's always going to be a question. I want you to answer that question under where my morning message is, where it says class comments. Don't sign in above where my message is. Your attendance is being taken when you sign in below my morning message. And you have to sign in by answering the question. You can't just say, I'm here. You need to watch the video and answer the question correctly. And I'm going to tell you a little bit later what today's question is, but I want to make sure everybody understands that. All right, let's read our poem of the day. And I have another question for you after we read it. So here's what I want you to be thinking about it as we read it. One job of a poem is to paint a picture in the reader's mind. There should be a lot of things your reader can really see when you're writing a poem. So today what I want you to think about while I'm reading the poem March is, what do you see while I'm reading it? And I know that a lot of you are going to say you see what's in the picture here, but what I really want you to think is, what do you see happening like a movie in your head as you're reading it? Don't focus just on the still picture. What's happening as you're hearing the poem? I'll give you my answer too, but I want you to think about that. What are you seeing and how is it changing as you read it? Okay, here we go. In March, the wind blows down the door and spills my soup upon the floor. It laps it up and roars for more, blowing once, blowing twice, blowing chicken soup with rice. So I want you to think about what you saw while I read the poem, not just focusing on the picture, but actually creating kind of a movie in your head that changes. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. So here's what I saw while I was reading the poem and thinking about it. I saw a little boy in his house, and the door was closed. And then all of a sudden, the door thwunked open, and right behind it was this fierce wind blowing it down. And the next thing I saw was his chicken soup bowl going smash onto the floor. I could even hear it crashing, and the boy was looking very startled and surprised and very scared. And then this big wind monster licked his soup up from the floor, and then just kept blowing all around the house and roaring, I want more. That's what I saw. That was my little movie. Did you see any of that? Awesome. All right, here's today's share-in question and attendance question. In the space right below this message, not on YouTube, but on Google Classroom, where it says Classroom Comments, I want you to write The thing you're most excited to do once we can leave our houses again. What's the first thing you think you're going to do, and the thing you're most excited to do once you can leave the house? And here's what I want you to do. I want you to write your answer. But then, after you write your answer, I want you to ask somebody else, either in the class or Mr. Rodriguez or me or Miss Saletta, if we all answer the question. I want you to ask us a question. So you're going to write your answer. You're going to look at other people's answers and write a question to one of them using their name so they know it's to them. And then there's one last thing you have to do. Every once in a while, you have to look through all of the comments and see if anybody asked you a question about your answer. And then you have to answer it. So that's a lot of things we have to do to check in today. You're going to write the thing you're most excited to do once we can leave our houses again. What's the first thing you think you'll do? Then you're going to look at other people's answers and ask one person a question. Make sure you use their name so they know you're talking to them. And then every once in a while, you have to look through all the answers and see if anybody asked you a question. And then you have to answer their question. All right, got it? Awesome. And I'll see you in a little while for some of our other subjects. Bye-bye.